That way you can't see where I'm at. This is a look back at Playback Pomper when we were all going through the, it's a look back on Fukushima, TEPCO, and what happened over there. Here we go.
Hello to all. I will give you some news from Japan today. We had a 14 or 15, I don't really remember, you know, I don't have all my thinking back. And so we are just the same day that we had a third explosion at the Fukushima nuclear plant. We all know that there's 2 nuclear reactors are the biggest in the world because it counts about 11 reactors, so not 1, not 2, not 3, but 11. And so I'd like to say something. What we have right now as a new information in Japanese TV is this. A show, TV show, showing us where we can eat a good pizza. We have all the funny people here on the TV who are smiling, who are enjoying. And this is the 12th channel. This is the 4th channel. Look at this, look at this, look at this. We are almost reaching a Chernobyl nuclear level right now. Look at what we have at the television, you know. Listen to this. Huh? What a beautiful life. What do you think about this? Look at this one. Look at this one. Okay? Look, I don't want to expose more. There's people who are doing the job that government has them to do. This has nothing to do with these people. What I want to say is this. Since the explosion this morning, we have no more information here in Japan. We have no information since the last explosion. What they say, the people don't. What they tell us since this morning is, don't worry, you have nothing to fear. We all know that this Fukushima nuclear plant is the biggest in the world and is in fire. I mean, all the reactors have exploded already, and what they tell us is, don't worry, you have no fear to fear. And we live here at 200 kilometers in Tokyo. So this is my message. All of you guys, please just help to make this video spread all over the internet. We want to know the truth. That's all we ask. We want to know the truth. If a megapole like Tokyo of 30 million people should be evacuated to minimize the death, then we want to know. We want to know if we have to leave. We want to know now. We don't want the fucking TV show with the pizza and people smiling and laughing like nothing happened. Please help me make a fucking buzz with this video. Do it. Do it, because if you can see this video, it means you have the internet at home, and if you do, it means your country is exactly the same as Japan. You risk the same thing as we do, because your government will never tell you the truth about what happened in terms of nuclear problem. They will never tell you. The proof is here. We have no news from this morning. How could it be? So if we have to move, even if we have to move all of us from the Honshu Island, then we want to know, and we have to do. Doesn't matter about the fucking economy or billions of dollars lost, we don't fucking care. We have children here and wife and everything. And I'm talking for 120 million people who don't have the money to go. Okay? So for you, you don't need to say the truth, you don't care, your family is probably already in Hawaii or in Europe or whatever, but ours is still here. So, telling us, don't move from your house, just stay inside your house, don't open the window, what the fuck is that? We don't want a TV show, we want to know the truth. Every minute, we want to know what are the risks, what we have to do, the truth. Those people, those Japanese people, the 30 million people living in Tokyo, They work for you, they work for this government, they work for this country, they give it everything, they pay you the tax for so many years. They deserve the truth. You have to give to them. Help me, guys. Spread this fucking video everywhere. We want the truth, we have no news. We live here in Japan at 200 kilometers from the Fukushima plant. 200 fucking kilometers. Radiation has already been measured from this morning. Here in Tokyo, in Shiba. Shiba is 150 kilometers south from Tokyo already. We want to know what are the risks. We know already that the risks are great. We want the truth. We don't want the pizza TV show. Help me, please. Spread it all over the internet, because this will happen in your country one day or one other. Maybe not from an earthquake or a tsunami, but one day or one other, you're going to have a nuclear problem in your country, and you will not have the truth. No, you and your family, nobody will have it. Nobody. They will tell you, stay at home. Spread it to the internet, please. We want the truth here in Japan. Not only me, we are 120 million people here. We want the truth.
Yes, this was from 2 years ago. Let me give you the posting date. The quality will be the same. I guess somehow opening your eyes, her channel, she was able to capture this. Alrighty then, back when he did it, before he was censored and all his videos were taken down. So heads up, I just wanted you to see this. It's a reminder. And I guess there might be some validity behind what he's saying. What do you think? With all the other things going on, and Fukushima's still going. This is from 2 years ago. Alrighty then. Moving on. Take care. It's just a heads up. And to you mainstream media who doesn't want to report on things. I guess you must be exempt from getting sick from radiation, right? You can still eat the tuna, right, with the plutonium in it? Heads up, you better think about all that. Alright, just a heads up video, a look back of what a lot of us went through, what we watched. He finally got out of Japan, but it took him a long time. I hope he's still doing alright. Live, this is One for the Record. I'm Diana, and today is April 16th, 2013, and here are your news updates for today. The Extinction Protocol 2012 and beyond. Shallow 6.8 magnitude earthquake strikes northern coast of Papua New Guinea. 5 earthquakes rattle central Oklahoma. Heads up. Alrighty. What else we got going on here? Are you eating superbugs? Drug-resistant bacteria found at alarming rates on meat in stores. Make sure you cook your meat real well. Alrighty then. China stabs U.S. in the back after carry diplomatic mission. Accuses the U.S. of being threat to Asian region. 7.8, but I believe it was an 8.0 originally. Magnitude earthquake strikes Iran-Pakistan border. Largest quake in 50 years, hundreds feared dead. Heads up. That's horrible. Alright, moving on. Let's see if I can get to the watchers watching the world. Strong wind shear weekend tropical cyclone Imelda. Magnitude 6.8 struck near the coast of New Guinea. Extremely dangerous, magnitude 7.8 struck Iran-Pakistan border region. Bright fireballs streaked across the sky above Madrid, Spain. Why worms surface after rain? They probably get flooded out. New study could rewrite history of Auckland's volcanic field. Alrighty then. Get rid of that. E&E News, the Energy News. Today, I believe that's U.S. Canada. Bullet holes riddle key California power substation causing heavy damage. 10,000-gallon oil spill. Statewide emergency alert to conserve energy. 911 calls not working nearby. Also, book. Hijackers had airplane in nosedive heading for U.S. nuclear reactor. A very, very scary situation. Energy official. Emergency declared after fire at U.S. nuclear plant lasted almost 30 minutes. Also today, paper. 50 micro earthquakes a day at giant Louisiana sinkhole blamed on breaking rock underground. Sidewall of cabin still collapsing. Heads up. Also today, multiple nuclear plants now on high alertness after Boston Marathon bombings. Reactors in New York, New Hampshire, Massachusetts affected. I can tell you something. No one has to do anything, and sooner or later, these things are over 40 years old. They're gonna leak and break down anyway. I don't think anyone's gonna waste their time on those. They already know it's a ticking time bomb. That's a heads up to you, NRC. Okay. Fukushima, not anything new today, but yesterday, New York Times, new leak found at Fukushima nuclear plant. Alrighty then. Okay, let's see if Pastor Paul Bagley has anything going on real quick, or Dutch Sense. I don't think so, though. Let's just look real fast. That was the 188-day cycle, though, just so you know. Remember what that guy said on one of my shows? You can look that up if you want. He said it's going to happen mid-month, somewhere around the 14th to 18th or something, because of the heavenly body that's speeding up as it comes towards us. Nibiru. Ison. Whatever you want to call it. Okay, Dutch Sense. Okay. Oh, wow. Maybe I'll have to come back and show you this. Let's see, Global Earthquake Overview. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Wow. I'm going to show you this tomorrow, I believe, because I think it'll take too long to upload. If it doesn't, then I will record this for you. It just takes so long to load everything. It's just horrible. Alrighty then. Let's lower that. Alright. So, we're getting ready. We're at the eve of Hump Day, Wednesday. Hang in there. It's 2 days down. 3 to go before the weekend. I'll see you on the flip side. Please be safe. Be prepared for anything. And if I hear of anything, I got your backs. Alright? Just be safe. If you live by a nuclear plant, I don't know, man. Maybe it's time to move away. Alrighty then? I don't think it increases your property value. Alrighty then? Alright. Take care. Here we go. I'm going to show you what I see on Dutch Sense's channel. I think it's very important to you. Here we go.
Hey everybody, Dutch Sense here. 4:29 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday, April 16th, 2013. And we're looking at Earthquake 3D here, which is a USGS feed of the most recent earthquakes. And I've got it turned down over the last 48 hours. 2.5 and greater in the United States, 4.0 and greater internationally. And most likely, you've already heard about it, a 7.8 magnitude earthquake struck at the border of Iran and Pakistan. and 34 people confirmed dead in Pakistan. We don't know how many people injured or dead in Iran, but it's a huge earthquake that occurred. So let's go ahead and get the statistics on this really quick. 51 miles deep, 82 kilometers, reviewed by a seismologist, 7.8 magnitude. Originally, it was reported by several agencies as an 8.0. So now USGS reporting 7.8. It's a matter of 0.2. It's still a huge earthquake for the region and caused a lot of damage. Now let's look at the area overall. Okay, this is just the last 48 hours, 4.0 and greater. So you can see the Southwest Pacific from north of New Zealand curving up west towards Papua New Guinea and then going all the way west to Sumatra, a huge amount of movement. Now let me go ahead and turn it down just another day and you'll see a couple 6.0s that have shown up in here. All right, and that's at undersea volcano locations. We've got Vanuatu and then we also have Papua New Guinea. And when you zoom in, you can see it's out to sea here, each one of them, and that's well-known undersea volcanoes that are still active, and they've been kicking up in pace over the last several years, and specifically starting 2 years ago now almost, when the plate fracture began here at the Indo-Australian plate. And that's something that we all need to be aware of, that that's still going on, that the unrest that's spilling over from the Indo-Australian plate is causing a lot of this movement in the Southwest Pacific. Okay, so let me go ahead and turn it back down here. And then you really get to see the cluster points over the last 7 days. You can see the swarm area here in Iran, okay, and then now to the east of that area, the 7.8 and 4.1 still in Iran. So that's a lot of movement to occur right there in the Middle East. I would expect that we'll see a spillover effect occur in Europe. Look how quiet Europe has been. All right, we have a 4.3 that occurred down here in Morocco and a 4.1 near El Hierro volcano. Both of these are volcanic locations. Let me take you over to my blog really quick. Okay, the Iran earthquake itself, and I did screenshots of this, is located within 50 miles of the only 2 active volcanoes in Iran, or at least the 2 that are marked on Google Earth. I took screenshots of that, you can see it, and again the depth was 51 miles. You know, take it as you will, folks. It's definitely, I think, a sign that we're seeing volcanic movement, not just normal earthquake movement. And that's evidenced by the movement in Morocco, okay, the 4.3 here. You can come over to my page, and I urge you guys to do this yourself. Just look up the coordinates. Whenever you see an earthquake at an out of the ordinary location, that you actually look it up and see what's there. Here's the Morocco earthquake, and it turns out it's right in the middle of a volcanic complex. You got a volcano here, 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 and then that's where the earthquake occurred, 4.3 magnitude in North Africa, which to me stood out immediately. We don't see too many earthquakes in that location. Now, last night there was some harmonic movement that occurred out of Yellowstone. All right, now we're looking at the last 7 days, so you see this 2.9 here. That appeared today. All right, it was originally a 3.0, now downgraded to a 2.9. But last night there was harmonic movement that started to show, and I posted that on my Facebook wall saying, hey, we need to watch for something. Well, within an hour of posting that, we saw the swarm erupt here in central Oklahoma. All right, we had 2 4.0 earthquakes, a 4.3 and a 4.2, multiple 3.0s, and multiple 2.0s, all roughly in the same spot at a fracking operation. Okay, and you don't have to take my word for it. Again, went and looked up the coordinates, and you can just definitely see that it's inside of a large fracking operation. And you got a residential area here too, and inside of the residential area, there it is. There's at least 3 that I was able to find right off the bat last night when it first occurred. Now there was a subsequent earthquake further to the southeast that also was inside of a large fracking operation. So whenever you see movement here in Oklahoma, Arkansas, South Colorado at the New Mexico border, anywhere in this region here, even down into Texas, if there's earthquake movement there, go look it up. You'll most likely find that it's a part of a drilling, injection well, oil well operation. Now up here to the northwest, Yellowstone, okay, that's showing movement on the northwest tip of the craton, the unsubducted plate, and then the 2.8 up here to the northeast in Canada, again, along the edge of the North American craton. So we're seeing pressure build, getting pushed, basically, from the west. Okay, we're all taught that it's actually pushed from the east, from the mid-Atlantic ridge. Well, look at this activity here to the west. Really, it's spilling up over Alaska and terminating right here at the south tip of Alaska. No large earthquakes anywhere along the west coast of the United States. For a fairly long time now, we saw some 6.0 activity down here to the south near the Salton Sea, just south of the Salton Sea, multiple 6.0s over the last year, and then here to the north. A couple 7.0s struck north of British Columbia. So it's an area we need to watch. The areas where we're seeing swarm movement in the adjacent areas, so watch Arkansas, watch Colorado, watch Texas, and of course watch Bayou Horn. Also, along the west coast of the United States, off the coast of Oregon, where the new lava fields are, all right, and going north all the way to British Columbia, anywhere in this region here, and then skip pretty much the entire central portion of California, and then get down here to the south portion of California near Salton Sea. We need to watch for further movement as well. A large earthquake threat down here to the south, South America, showing 4 and 5.0 earthquake movement. Hasn't happened like this in a while. We do need to be aware. Chile to Argentina, that is an area I would watch. Also, Colombia, right here where these two 4.3s are. Saw a couple 7.0 earthquakes over the last several months in that location. To the west, well, anywhere from Japan, I mean, you can see the cluster points. So you've got a cluster point here in Japan, a cluster point at Kamchatka, Russia. Again, these are all volcanic related. Go south here, south of Taiwan, again, undersea volcano. Get south here right to New Guinea, again, undersea volcano. Vanuatu, undersea volcano. And then you get to the plate fracture over here to the west, where there's no movement actually on that plate once it fractured. The areas are now, I think, trying to keep up with that fracture that originally happened. As you get through the Middle East, Iran, multiple swarms of 4 and 5.0 earthquakes, and of course the 7.8 we talked about earlier. Europe, look at you, completely quiet. We need to watch North Italy going to Poland. All right, anywhere in this region here, since the movement's happening to the east and to the west at the volcanic sites, including the Mid-Atlantic Ridge and the North Pole, geographic North Pole, 180 miles off the geographic North Pole, 4.6 at an undersea ridge break. So watch North Italy going up to Poland. Anywhere in this region here will most likely see some kind of 4.0 activity or greater in the next week. And we're talking near-term forecast here, guys, 1 week or less. We're going to continue to see movement. I don't see this dying out anytime soon. If you live in an earthquake-prone area, have a plan. Be prepared just in case. And if you live along, for instance, the edge of the North American Craton, be prepared for moderate earthquake movement in areas where you wouldn't normally see it. For instance, the 5.9 that happened over here in Virginia happened after we saw earthquake swarms happen in Oklahoma and Arkansas and Colorado. So if we start to see earthquake swarms at adjacent areas, Arkansas, Colorado, Texas, we need to watch further to the east for that to relieve the stress. It has to pass it on to the next location. And that's what we're seeing happen pretty much around the entire planet right now, spilling over from the breakpoint west through Europe, volcanic locations, down the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, bringing it right back over to Central America, down to South America. It really is. You can just follow the line and see what's moved over the last week. That alone is a lot of movement. So a lot of 4.0 and 5.0 activity needs to be monitored. That will give you your future large-scale activity.
Now we'll look at a fast flyover on 4/16/2013 today of the Louisiana sinkhole. Here we go. Slick.
This is the original video. It's hard to make out much of anything, but after adding a filter to make the light more visible, you can clearly see something was in the sky over Grants Pass Friday night.
At first I was like, what's wrong with that star? Well, that's kind of trippy, so I went in and got him, and he's like, whoa, what is that?
It's moving. That thing was moving.
It started moving.
Heather Scherfius and Gregory Soldner say they happened to look outside around 10:30 Friday night and say they never seen anything quite like this.
It looks like a metal disc of some sort. So I'm not sure. It looks like it's metal, and the way it moved, it was pretty weird. I mean, I don't believe in flying saucers, but, you know.
The two claim the object stayed in one spot for several minutes and then made a very sporadic move.
It would move like up and down, back to a spot and zigzag.
It was there like 20, 30 minutes, and then it was just gone.
We contacted the FAA to find out if any other sightings were reported or if they knew of any aircraft flying over Grants Pass around that time. Because of the holiday weekend, staff was limited, but they told us very few UFOs are actually reported, and an investigation into what was flying over Grants Pass will begin on Tuesday. But for now, the one-time non-UFO believers are still trying to take in what they saw.
And I you know, myself would even think that, you know, it's pretty hard to believe, but you gotta see it. It was weird.
In Grants Pass, Kyle Lieberman, NBC 5 News.
Written law, California law, United States federal law, NRC to enforce. By law, have to have somewhere to put the cement fuel rods. They promised us they would have the cement fuel rods taken care of by 1976, then by 1982, then by 1985, then 1991. It's 2013, you still store them on site.